Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this tutorial what we will try to do is we will try to see how to do a YTD calculation without using time intelligence functions like total YTD or total MTD or total QTD. So the thing in DAX is that in most of the times for any given problem we will have multiple solutions. So what we try to do here is we will try to do a YTD calculation by using simple filter functions and calculate in DAX. Okay, so I'll show you the data set that I have here. I have a simple table which is orders that you see here. So it has got all these columns, which is a very simple table where the measure is profit, and then we see the month, year and month ID. Okay, so the data I have here is only for the year 2015. Okay, now what I will try to do here is I'll try to build a matrix and then I will create a measure which will show the YTD calculation without using time intelligence functions. So first I will select a table, okay, and then I'll drop month ID and then month. I will select this one not to summarize, so let me increase the font size. Okay, now what we will try to do here is first I'll add one measure called total profit. For example, this one that you see here, so it is just a sum of profit. Okay, so I will add this measure into this matrix first just to see what is the profit for each of these months that we see here. So I'll select this one. Okay, now we see the profit for each of these months. Okay, now we will go ahead and try to create a measure which will show the YTD calculation based on profit. So I will click on new measure, and then here I will say the measure name as profit YTD equals, then first I'll try to create the formula and then I'll explain you how it is working. So I will go ahead and start typing the formula. Okay, this is how my measure is. Now I will add this measure into the matrix. Okay, so I just added the measure into the matrix. Now we see the YTD calculation happening correctly for each of these months until June. Okay, as you can see, the value of June under the YTD column is matching with the total that you see under the total profit column, so which means that our calculation is working correctly. Now let's try to understand how the formula is actually functioning. So if I show you the formula of profit YTD, so now let's try to understand for any one month here how the value has been arrived. So if you take the example of March, okay, so the way the formula works is first we have a variable called max date. So it is going to store the maximum date that is visible under the current filter context. So if you take the example of March, the value we see here is 37,091. So the way the formula works for this particular cell is the value of max date for this cell would be the 31st of March, because that will be the maximum date visible under the current filter context. And then we have another variable called dates. So this is a table variable because the output of this whole expression would be a table. So we are trying to store a list of rows from the orders table based on this filter condition. So what we are doing here is we are filtering the orders table based on the condition where order date is less than or equal to max date. So in this case, for example, in the case of March, we are filtering the orders table where the order date is less than or equal to 31st of March 2015, because 2015 is the only year we have. So the maximum date for this month of March is 31st of March 2015. So the dates variable is going to hold all the values of orders table where the date is less than or equal to 31st of March. And then the next variable profit YTD is straightforward. What we are doing here is we are using a calculate function, and then we are passing the table variable that we created just above this, which is dates, as an argument to the calculate function. So since we are passing a table argument to the calculate, so what calculate is going to do is, so the calculate is going to evaluate this expression only for the filter that we have passed here, which is the sum is going to execute only for those dates where the date is less than or equal to max date. Okay, and then we are returning the variable that is profit YTD. Okay, similarly in case of May, for example, the max date would be 31st of May 2015, and then the dates variable will have all the records from the orders table where the order date is less than or equal to 31st of May 2015. Okay, because for May, when you do the YTD calculation, you have to consider the dates less than or equal to 31st of May, which also includes the dates from January, February, March, April and May until 31st of May. So I guess you understand how it is functioning. So this way we can try to achieve the same result for YTD calculation without using time intelligence functions like total YTD. Similarly, you can do a similar calculation for other time intelligence functions like total MTD or total QTD. The reason for mentioning this approach is that sometimes based on the data that we have, especially when we have the calendar table that is not in a proper shape, what we need to do is we have to write calculations in this way, because sometimes we may see that the built-in time intelligence functions like total YTD or MTD may not work under all conditions. So it is always good to know how you do the same calculation but using a different approach. I hope you understand this. Thank you so much for watching the video.